Welcome, fellow trackers. My name is Nick, and I'm here with my co-host, my partner in crime, Mr. Sean Abbott. We today are going to be talking about a little small teeny little game called Call of Duty. Dropped on Game Pass, and we've both played it for, well, Sean a lot longer than me, but that's okay. I'll give my xCloud stuff, and I can't wait to get it. Also, as it says in the title, as we told you last week, this is our sad goodbye, our last time that we will be podcasting for you Game Pass Tracker folks. So we'll say our goodbyes as well, and we'll have some information about Indiana Jones and Metal Slug and Stalker 2. So before without further ado, let's get this train out of the station. Sean, how you doing, sir?
I mean, with the way you came in, then that train is like loaded, full of coal, tooting and ready to go. No, I'm good. Tooting and ready to go. I like it. No, I'm good. We had a fun day today. We had an impromptu trip out to York City Centre, which we weren't expecting. I think the day started out that Lindsay she wanted to take the dog for a walk, and then we were going to go to the food warehouse, which is like a freezer store that's opened up near me. And then she was going to crack on with some uni work because she's got some uni work that she wanted to do. And then like an hour later, she's like, let's go to York. I want to do this. So we fed the kids at lunchtime and then scooted across to York and had a wander around York City Centre doing a bit of shopping. We took the park and ride, which is just an experience in itself.
I'm sorry, what is what is a park and ride? Is that like
so rather than buses. So rather than driving into the city centre and we were going to pay, it was going to be like nearly £15 to park for a few hours in the city centre. We thought we'll park on the outskirts of the city centre and take the bus in and save, I don't know, like £8 from doing that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
What we didn't anticipate was the fact that our 6-year-old Logan has the patience of a 50-year-old angry man behind the car in a traffic jam.
Mm-hmm.
So like the bus wasn't there. So when's the bus coming? Why is the bus not here? Well, I can't see the bus. The bus isn't coming. When's the bus coming? And it was just like, okay, I thought this has gotten old fast. But no, and it was quite busy. It's kids' holidays. It was a nice dry day over here in the UK, so everybody was just out. It was an experience. I've never done the park and ride service before. Probably won't do it again with the
at
children.
Least not with children.
It'd have been okay, really.
Yeah,
at least not with children. Emily was fine. She was kind of like just very patiently waiting and quiet, where Logan was just I think the excitement of going into the city centre and the excitement of being on a bus and everything that comes with that just got to him a little bit too much. So
sure, I get it. Now,
but fun,
is it that
fun
far away
runway.
from you? I mean, how far do you got to walk or drive to get to the park and ride station?
It's like a half an hour drive to the park and ride place, and then from the park and ride place is like another 5-10 minutes on the bus kind of thing.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
Depending on traffic. It was pretty quick getting in. It was a bit longer coming out, but obviously we were hitting prime traffic coming out of the city centre. So
Sure. Is your parking fees like ours, where it's like, listen, 20 minutes for $2, or your other option is a day for like 50? Like, I feel like that's always the options. I'm always like, what about like 3 hours? Like, can I pay like $7 for 3 hours? No, it's either like 30 minutes or like 12 hours. Like, I don't understand.
No, it's over here. It's pretty good. We can you have a price up to an hour, and then it's like so much every hour. Then, so yeah, it's pretty good. It's usually pretty like in the town where I live. It cost me like 50 pence to like park for up to an hour, and then it's like £1 every hour after that. So it's pretty cheap. But city centres, you get into the city centres, and some it's like £2.80 for the hour, and then £2.80 every hour after that. So.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know. Now when you park on the side street, it's not too bad. You can go up by like increments of like 15 minutes, I think. But when you like the parking garages, at least in the city that north of us, I don't know. It just seems like their increments don't make any sense. Like your option is to pay a shit ton of money if you want to be there longer than 30 minutes, basically. It's either like 30 minutes or bust, basically. So
to like dine and dash to just to cover yourself for 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So yeah, that's always been my angst, but whatever is what it is. So
yeah, but no, that was today. Other than that, I've been working. And we've been playing a lot of Mario Party Jamboree, which I'll talk about later. But we've played 3 games of it, and it's good fun. There's a bit more to say to it than that.
Well, Sean, my life has been crafting pumpkins. Well, not crafting pumpkins. Doing doing pumpkin crafts for the last 2 nights because tomorrow is like there's this big pumpkin contest and my kids really get into it. And so does my wife. And so I play my role and do my thing and I actually really like it. But my when you said Mario Party is every night from Saturday, I bought it Saturday morning. Every night from Saturday to here, there has been something going on. Like literally, like Saturday, we had what we call Safety Town, which is like this gigantic town-sized trunk or treat. It's huge. It's a ton of fun, but it's huge. And so then Sunday, I was like, all right, Beck, after we get done, because my daughter's last soccer game was on Sunday. Well, last soccer game for the fall season was on Sunday, and I was like, okay, we're gonna get back from that. We got plans. We're doing some things, but after that, when we get back, I'm gonna play Mario Party. And she's like, yeah, no. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, she was like, yeah, we have to craft we have to put the pumpkins together. No, they have nothing done for it. And I was like, fine.
Okay.
So then we get home and I'm like, okay, we're going to get this done. And then like on Monday, we're going to no. What happened? Like my daughter had a full on meltdown. And so we got Noah's pumpkin done, but not Ariel's because she was in like meltdown. So then Monday night we put together Ariel's pumpkin with her. And here I am tonight. And so I have yet to freaking play Mario Party Jamboree. And my kids are upstairs. And I told them, I said, if I see that you have played that game for 1 minute, you will not. I don't know if I'd do this because I really need them to play with me. It won't be half as fun. You will not play for like 2 weeks. And so I haven't looked on my phone, but they're pretty good about following those kind of things. So I'm sure they did.
So, it's good. I want to try the online capability, but we'll talk about that when we get to the dashboard section of the show. But I really want to try the online capability.
So is Logan going trick or treating this year? I haven't heard anything about Logan and trick or treating. Is he trick or treating?
He is. He has a ghost costume this year.
Oh, did you just throw a sheet over him? That's right.
Yeah, pretty. We bought a sheet that's pre-made. It's got the eyes and the mesh bits in. It comes with a nice pumpkin bag. That's what he wanted to be this year. So nice and easy. Yeah. And Emily's going to a Halloween party. Her friend's just around the corner. She's going as an 80s disco zombie.
I like it. That's actually sounds pretty cool. I would like to see a picture of an 80s disco zombie. You have to send me a picture of that.
Me too. I am at work on nights. So I will be playing the part of a zombie, which is a dad zombie, because I will be tired.
I love it. That's really good. That's good. Like, I will. So my kids have already been to like 4 trunk or treats, and we have a crap ton of candy, and we're probably going to go to like 2 more plus like citywide trick or treating. It's a little ridiculous. We went as Looney Tunes characters because my kids really got into Looney Tunes thing. Problem is, nobody freaking knows the Looney Tunes nowadays. Like you walk around and kids are like, "Are you hunting the rabbit?" And I'm like, "Well, yes." So you're a hunter? Wait, no, I'm not. I'm Elmer Fudd, kid. You're who?
Elmer Fudge?
I blame your parents for this atrocity that you'd have no idea who Elmer Fudd is, and you don't understand that that's Bugs Bunny. Like, come on.
I blame YouTube.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding. We're on YouTube, so no.
Yeah.
But no.
We just got canceled on YouTube. So it's kind of unfortunate that we're not recognized more because I think the costumes are pretty good. But
I saw the picture and I thought that was I liked the getup that you had on and the craftsmanship that went into the rifle was good.
Yeah, and so but nobody knows really who we are, but we enjoy it. We're having fun, and like I said, there's probably about 3 more trunk or treats to go before this Halloween wraps up. Except life's been so crazy, Sean. You know what you haven't seen? A picture of a carved pumpkin. Because we have 4 freaking pumpkins sitting on our steps uncarved because we have had 0 time to carve a pumpkin.
See, we've not carved pumpkins this year since the Among Us pumpkin incident of 2022. I refused to carve another pumpkin because Logan gets really attached to him, and then we ended up leaving it in the hallway downstairs and came down the next morning, and I don't know if it was to do with the heat or anything, but the whole thing had just turned to water, and we have like hard laminate floor, and yeah, it made a mess. And ever since then, I've kind of got some kind of issue with carving pumpkins. But no, he hasn't seemed too bothered about it this year. We have decorated, so pull this stuff. We have our decorations up. I'm holding up a hard plastic pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Has a
the listeners right now thought you were about to do ASMR. That's a really good sound. I like it.
So yeah, we have our pumpkins up, and there's bats hanging from the ceiling, and we've got like skull garland lights hanging up in the living room, and all the wax melts and stuff like that have come out with all the Halloween and ghost faces. So we have decorated at least. Mm-hmm. So
good on you.
Yeah, which means one thing and one thing only. These things will go away. The Christmas decorations will come out.
You know what? We got to move on. Otherwise, I have a plethora of questions of like when you start Christmas decorating and all that jazz. But you know,
we'll save that for the next show we do.
Yeah, right. All right. So Sean, get us into the top stories here, or X feed. Get us going.
Okay, cool. Like I do every episode, and I will do it for our final episode as the Game Pass Tracker Show. I'm going to quickly run through the housekeeping, keep everything in line, let you know where you can get hold of us. So if you want to speak to the team, you can do. You can reach out. They have two, which is at VGT Gaming News and at GPN Gaming News. You can reach out from there. If you're Xbox and Game Pass only, kind of go towards the GPN one. If you want to just talk to them about anything, go to VGT Gaming News. If you have any thoughts, any questions, there's a link somewhere in the description. For the Discord, you can go there. It's a public one. It's got over 2,000 members. You can chat along with anybody from the GPT, VGT, and GPN team there. Whew. If you are listening to us on an audio platform, please like and comment on what you've enjoyed from me and Nick over these last 47 episodes. I'm pretty sure everybody will enjoy to read it and see what you think. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show if we weren't promoting the Big Daddy itself, of course, which is Xbox Game Pass, which has been truly, truly fantastic to talk about for as long as it's been going. So if you love Game Pass and you've been loving the show and you want to show your support, head to the link in the description, sign up to Game Pass via the Xbox.com website, and you'll be supporting the Game Pass Tracker Show. You'll be supporting everybody at GPN Gaming News and the VGT team itself. But you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription. Wholeheartedly still believe that is true. The best gaming subscription out there at the moment, which is Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire, be that core, standard, PC Game Pass, or Game Pass Ultimate. Just go, play your own way, use the code in the chat or the show notes, and you can help to continue whoever or however this content is continued to be created from here on out. So, without further ado, we'll skip on over to the X feed and talk about the top stories for this week.
That's right. It's the X feed where we talk about the top stories, and we have three of them. 3 top stories this week, starting with the top of the page, and I was not there because I was highlighting stuff. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will run at 60 frames per second on both Xbox Series X and S. Oh, the Lord! The internet can rest easy. We don't have to have a debacle of no, it's 30, so Harrison will look a little grainy or maybe stutter. Oh, goodness, great, good. I'm so glad we were able to avoid that, Sean. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty certain now after like the Redfall debacle and the Starfield debacle of games being shown at 60 frames per second and they're not actually delivering at 60 frames per second in terms of Redfall, or games coming and then only being locked to 30 frames a second because, you know, they didn't want to hinder one console or the other. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's great. I also think it's really interesting that this developer and publisher have managed to hit the nail on the head at 60 frames a second straight away, where other ones like Bethesda with Starfield like struggled to get there. So yeah, I'll be interested.
Go ahead.
I'm still definitely excited to pick this game up. So
yeah, well now I am. Because if it would have been at 30, Sean, I probably would have just utterly just not picked it up. Because, you know.
People who have listened to you long enough know that that's absolute garbage. Because you will play a game if it runs at 1 frame a second and still looks okay.
I mean, because, you know, that was my problem with Starfield. If it would have been a solid 60, I would have just loved it. That was definitely definitely my main issue was the fact that it was locked at 30. No, I think this argument by and large is stupid. I'm not gonna lie, and so I'm glad that they were able to get 60 so that we don't have to have the stupid argument. I mean, and if you hate me for that or you disagree, I'm sorry. Good news. You don't have to listen to me after this. But I don't think it matters if it's 30 frames per second or 60. For the most part, I think a game can be great at either. I do understand the argument of like, hey, stay at 30 or stay at 60, because even I, blind at bad graphics, can see like the hitch of like going from 60 to 30 to 60 up and down. So I do agree with that, but either way, I think from by and large, this is just such a non-issue that I'm glad we don't have to have it.
Yeah, I agree. I like that they haven't promised it. It's when they make the promise. You make the promise to come out at 60 frames a second, and you don't. You can only manage 30. You let everybody down. It's kind of like saying, "Hey, I'm gonna give you all this money, and we're gonna do this really cool, awesome stuff." But you kind of get to the line, and you go, "Oh, hang on a second. We can't do that. We're literally just going to let you have like the basic of all access to everything." But
yeah, no, I agree. That's the worst of the worst, and they fell into that hole with Redfall. And I think it's why a decent game was looked at as like total trash, even though it wasn't at all that. Yeah,
and that's the thing. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. You don't want to have the bad taste that everybody had with Redfall, because it'll damage everything to do with the game and all the work and stuff that the developers and everything put in. Because that's what happened with Redfall. I still say to this day that Redfall was a great game to come out day one and play.
Not a great game. It was a good game. I would agree with that. I couldn't fall with great, but it definitely didn't deserve all the trash that it got, for sure.
I played it long enough for me to think it was a great game, and then until I got into the next area and the map was as huge as the first one, and I was like, okay, this is a great game, but it's taking up a lot of my time.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So no, that's cool. Yeah. So there you go. 60 frames per second. Rest easy. Yay for all involved. Metal Slug Tactics is launching day one. Story 2, in case you were confused and you thought somehow they were one story. Story number 2, Metal Slug Tactics is launching day 1 on Xbox Game Pass, and it's coming out next week. Yay! That's exciting.
Yeah. This is exciting. I like the Metal Slug games. The Metal Slug is one of those games that I link to being over in America as a kid.
Okay.
That and the pod racing arcade machine and Cuba. I can remember being in an American diner playing Cuba at like 6 years old and thinking it was amazing.
I love that. So did you not have Metal Slug in the UK, or did you just happen to play it mostly over here in the US?
We as a kid, we didn't like go to arcades and places as such. Much as a kid, like the standing in front of the arcade box with the joystick and the buttons, like I can go to that now and I still have like this overwhelming excitement to play like Street Fighter when I see it, because as a kid growing up I didn't see it that often. It was very rare that we went and did like seaside stuff where we were at the arcades, which is where most arcades are in the UK, is by like seaside resorts. But I do have very fond memories of being over in the US and like motel diners and hotel diners and roadside diners and stuff like that had these jukebox thing, like this stand up in front of the game console stuff, and like they had them like by the side of the pool and stuff. They were there, so like that's what I would do if it was too warm or like I was kind of waiting for for the rest of the family to catch up. I would play these games. So Metal Slug was one of those that I played and I thought it was hilarious because it was like that really not crude, but like pixelated, like comic book style comedy illustration and movements with it, and it was just madness because you were just blowing everything up all the time. So it was a big button mash, joystick wiggling around kind of game to play it, and I enjoyed it. And then when it came to console and I could play it on console, I played it on console sometimes, just for that nostalgia feel. So having a day one game coming out on Game Pass that's Metal Slug, and with it having a different spin, so it's tactics. It's rather than the side-scrolling madness that you're going to get. This is more of an RPG style game. I'm going to give it a try. And it might be that one thing that I need to kind of cleanse the palate from Call of Duty every now and then.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a lot of Metal Slug. I don't have a lot of Metal Slug love. So when I say yeah, that's exciting, I mean that from like, hey, it's always good to get day one games on Game Pass. But maybe I'll give it a shot. So I take it it's not turn based because by the picture it looks turn based because there's a little like grid. There's grids everywhere. But
Metal Slug Tactics is both a respectful homage to an all-time classic and an imaginative new way to play and celebrate the renowned series. Channeling Metal Slug's timeless aesthetic through gorgeous pixel art and fluid animation, the game's highly replayable battlefields pair shuffle layouts from handcrafted sectors of terrain with subtle roguelike elements, pushing players to adapt and overcome unpredictable clashes as they master dynamic strategic combat.
This sounds turn-based, Sean.
It sounds slightly turn-based. It sounds
okay. I'm looking
like
it up right now.
Mario Rabbids style gameplay, maybe.
There's no. If this is not, yeah, it's turn-based. It's completely turn-based. But I mean, maybe it'll be a turn-based you like because you have some nostalgia for it.
Maybe. But it's also roguelike, so it's like, is it one of those where you will struggle to get through a level, have to grind to level up? Again, a bit like Mario Rabbids.
True. Okay. Hey, I will. Now that I've really looked into it, and it's turn-based and roguelike. I mean, you gotta take.
Say
you gotta
it as
take
you mean
your
it.
medicine. I guess that's all I'll say. Sometimes you gotta take your medicine. There
Look,
you go.
as we have learned while doing all the Xbox related stuff that we've done, when we find a game that has RPG and roguelike stuck together in a game, we struggle. So
turn-based RPG, to be fair. Turn-based.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try it. Maybe try it. There you go. Story number 3: Stalker 2 dev confirms mod support coming to Xbox Series X and S. I think that's great. I would love. How do you mod something on the Xbox Series X and S? How do you even do that? Of course I don't know. I have no idea. Like, no technical ability. Lord knows only how I'm able to do what I do here for Game Pass Tracker. So, like, but like, how? I think it's cool. But like, seriously, like, how, I would love to get somebody on. Okay. Let's skip that part. I mean, I'd love to know how you mod. How do you do this for a console?
So, as far as I'd understand, and I think this is the way it was with Fallout 4, is when somebody's out there in the world that creates a mod for like Fallout 4, they have to upload it, and it becomes like a downloadable patch. And they have the same on the console. So you go to like a mod menu, and it has a list of mods that you can add.
Okay.
To the game that are already there and pre-installed.
Okay, all right. Well, that's cool. I mean,
and that's my understanding. I believe.
Okay, that makes sense because I really was like, I don't understand how you even do that. I mean, mods or no mods. I am very excited to play this game on November 20th. I don't even entirely know why. Because it only has a slight Nick feel to it, but I want to play this game.
I think it's the story behind it getting to us that makes me want to play it. I want to play it because I want to support the people that was involved in making the game, the hardship that they've got through to get it to where it is, and the continuing hardship that they're currently facing and their families facing. Sure. That's like there's a massive support for Ukraine and all that's going on, stuff and things there, and so this is another way of showing that support. They're a UK based developer. So
yeah, when is that documentary coming out?
Good question. I don't know that one.
There's the Stalker 2 documentary shares personal stories from development against the backdrop of war. When is this? I don't know.
While you figure that out, all I want to say is I'm surprised you want to play this game because I think it's going to have some creepy elements to it, but it'd be interesting to see.
Like I say, it's interesting to see. Why don't you stream it, Nick? It'll be very interesting to see. It'll just be like brown everywhere. I quit this damn game. I love you, Ukraine, but I hate this game.
You don't hate the game. You just hate the. The thing is, it's probably not the. You probably won't not enjoy the game. It's the dreams that it gives you afterwards on night.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that's really the problem. And I'll be like, Outski, gonna go play some Core Keeper. So.
Just start Animal. No, that's a bigger nightmare. I was gonna say go start Animal Crossing all over again to balance it out.
But there you go. Mod support. That was a big squirrel, folks. So there you go. Mod support, and now we are pretty sure we might have an idea of how they do it, and that's exciting. Yeah. Those are our 3 stories. Those are our 3 stories for today, and we don't have no more stories left for you. So yeah. On to the dashboard, Sean. What have you been playing? Let's end with the big one.
Okay, so the feature story is mangle it into the dashboard because we're going to quickly get through the other bits that we're playing so we can hard hit onto Call of Duty. So I've been at work. So while I've been at work and I've been having my food, I've been playing Balatro. I have now beaten the yellow and the green deck.
Yeah, like
which I'm super excited.
Like boom, boom, just like that.
Oh, it wasn't like boom, boom, just like that. That took like 6 goes. So that yellow deck has been haunting me for ages. But like the time and the effort it took to beat the yellow deck has given me the understanding of how I can get like jokers to work together and how the arcane cards can kind of really buff the jokers and stuff like that. So I did a lot of that, which is what helped get the yellow deck. The green deck followed pretty much the same. At one point, I was using something in the green deck which gave me 4 extra hands and got rid of all my discards, which I thought was going to be crazy difficult, but turned out to be like a blessing because I was either dropping really lucky with my hands or was just playing very well. But the green deck allows you get paid per hands that you have left and discards that you have left. And like I was finishing it with 6 discards most times, so I was getting like cash for obviously beating the blind, and then a load of cash for beating for having hands left, which was quite useful.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So before so Balatro, what is your take on Mario Party Jamboree? Is it Jamboree or Jam?
It's Jamboree. Okay. I just put Jam because to remind me that I'm not going to say like All Stars.
Fair point.
It's very good. We've played the Volcano map, we've played the Wiggler map, and we played the Racetrack map so far.
Okay.
2 of them we played. It was me, Lindsay, Logan, and Jaya, and then one of them we played, and it was all of us, but instead of Jaya, it was Emily because she was here from uni, so we played that. And it's good fun. The one thing I don't like is that the allies are harder to pick up. So like you used to be able to Mario Party, not All Stars, but the one before that.
Yeah, I can't think of it. Yeah, I know which one you're talking. Yeah,
you could pick up like allies quite easily. You got the ally you landed on the space where you could call them, or use the item where you could call a friend to help. They're harder to get, but they are quite beneficial because if you pick one up and you have 40 coins, you can buy 2 stars at once.
Oh wow! Yeah, that is very beneficial.
Yeah, and the way the maps interact are quite interesting as well. So the Volcano map had like a high tide and low tide thing, so you could end up stuck on an island and kind of like just loop around. The only way to get off is to land on a zip line to go across. So that was fun. The mini games are real good fun. And then away from the actual Mario Party side of things, there's like the rhythm game section, the online bit that just I want to try. and bits and pieces like that. The stickers or the reactions you can give up don't overpower the screen like they did on previous Mario Parties. So, yep. So the kids, when they're hammering away at like placing all these reactions, they're just not popping up constantly. It's not a nightmare. But then, yeah, other than that, really enjoying it. We've got the shopping mall one to finish. And then we're going to start playing on the pro rules, because apparently you have to play on the pro rules to unlock other things within the normal rules.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to play.
Play the normal rules first, which unlocks the pro rules. Play the pro rules, which unlocks like mini game voting and something else in the normal rules.
All right.
So and then it's just like anything. There's the plaza you can go around. I'm pretty sure I haven't explored that yet, but I'm pretty sure as you like look around in the plaza, there's going to be things that you can get to unlock more characters, like they had in the original, in one of the other ones that came out on the Switch.
Gotcha. Cool. I have not played anything else before we do Call of Duty.
No, that's it. If I wasn't playing that, I have played. Have been playing Call of Duty. I think I played it for about 4 hours the other evening, so that was about it.
Okay. I have not been playing anything other than, and actually, I didn't even get to Zelda this week. I don't think. Maybe a little bit of Core Keeper, and that's it. So let's just jump right on into Call of Duty. Sean has played downloaded on the console. I have played streaming on the console and on my backbone. So right on my backbone, I did it. So Sean is much more the connoisseur of Call of Duty out of the two of us. I haven't played in 100 years. So Sean, tell me what is your thoughts? You've played both, right? You played campaign and multiplayer, a little bit of both.
Or
mostly Call.
I played a little bit. I played a little bit of campaign.
Okay.
And then as always, campaign's kind of on rails, so it didn't keep me hooked for too long. Looks great. All the movement's great. I like the fact that they've worked the omnidirection into the campaign quite well. And if you play that through, you'll have a really good grasp for how the omnidirectional stuff works for when you're playing multiplayer. But I kind of did that for a little bit, and then I went to the multiplayer. They've got a really cool, nice tutorial when you first fire the multiplayer section up, which teaches you how to do the omnidirectional thing anyway, so you could kind of skip the campaign and go straight to multiplayer if you wanted to. It's got all the makings of being a very, 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 very good Call of Duty game. My favorite one so far has been Black Ops 2, just because it was pure raw, none of this like running along walls and vaulting from wall to wall, or like jumping and floating with jetpacks and stuff like that, which was like all Advance Wars and stuff like that. Did not get on with that at all. It was too Halo-y for me. I apologize to people out there who enjoy Halo, just not my stick. The omnidirectional stuff is hilarious. There is people out there that have already cracked it to the point where it's almost impossible to hit them. It's things like if you jump, every time you change direction quickly, it reduces the size of the hitbox, so it makes it harder for you to be hit. But if you can change direction very quickly in a quick succession, you basically make yourself impossible to hit. It's like trying to shoot Deadpool. People have linked it to because you can flip around and stuff like that, and it makes you impossible.
Gotcha.
And then there's also a move called the Frog Leap that people have been doing. So it's you kind of slide forwards, instantly cancel the slide and jump backwards, and then start sliding again, and it kind of makes it look like a frog leaping.
Okay.
But that you change direction that fast that it makes the hitbox almost impossible, but keeps you facing in the same direction. So there's that. But I like it for the fact that you could be sprinting forwards, and then all of a sudden you see somebody in front of you, and you can kind of do the natural thing of diving to like left or right.
Sure.
While still firing, and it just feels very human in the way
that's
that
a really
you move,
that's a cool description.
Yeah, and I love it for that. So I played a couple of hours of like hardcore, domination, hardpoint, free for all and team deathmatch, and I love it. I've really got back into the swing of like the speed and accuracy that you need in this game, because like I used to play Warzone more than anything else, so you could take your time to follow somebody and kind of watch how they moved. On this, it's kind of like obviously you're running up to an objective, take out people that were there if you can. If not, you get taken out respawn and just keep flying in. So different style of gameplay. I haven't tried Warzone with the new Black Ops 6 stuff, but I'm kind of trying to I'm homing in my skills on online, just because I want to be able to play it with a couple of friends that play it. So I'm trying to warm myself back up and gently get into there, and also try and unlock different guns. So
sure, cool. I played about 40 minutes of the campaign on streaming on the Backbone. It is passable. Now, I wasn't on amazing Wi-Fi, but I was on solid Wi-Fi, and it would hitch every once in a while, and then that really wasn't the biggest deal because it wasn't that noticeable. But what was probably the most annoying was when you every once in a while I'd be firing my gun, and I just wouldn't hear anything, and then I'd be running. I'd pick up and start running like 5-10 seconds later, and then all of a sudden you'd hear the, and I'm like, okay, oh, that was my gun that just, okay, yep, the sound caught up to me. All right, good. And so it was like the sound was off quite a bit. Now, when I came home and played online on my S, which has fiber Ethernet, everything was fine and cozy. And everything was great, and it worked solid, and I didn't have any audio problems, and I didn't have any graphics problems, and all was great. But yeah, when I was playing on Wi-Fi at work, which is still a solid Wi-Fi connection, probably better than quite a few people have, it did not work super well, I would say. So,
and would you say that's
go ahead.
Would you say that's the connection, or would you say that's the application on the phone?
I don't know. I play other games. I play other games at work, and I don't have issues. I will say that. So that isn't a common occurrence for me to have issues on xCloud at work. So I don't know, maybe if the servers were a bit overloaded and stuff like that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was going to bring me to those next questions. Do you think it's because probably a lot of people are trying to play it via the cloud?
Yeah, probably, because you have a lot of people. I mean, I don't know if a lot's the right word, but I'm sure there's quite a few that fall in my camp of like, I don't know if I really want to download it because I don't know how long I'll play it, but sure, I want to experience it, so sure, I'll jump in on the cloud so I don't have to deal with the download.
There's people like me that have it downloaded on the console that are trying to do all the multiplayer stuff, and they're at work and they're like, I'm just going to hop on and play some of the campaign because I want to keep playing this game. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it, and so yeah, I wonder. I might test it in like a week or so and see what it's like. Obviously,
I get you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to gameplay, I thought it was a lot of fun. It's my kind, like the campaign's my kind of gig when it comes to like gun games and stuff like that. It's goofing. Like you said, it's pretty much on rails. It's fairly forgiving. If you make it at least a little bit, it'll kind of auto save you, so you don't have to do the whole thing over. Like for me, it's exactly what I'm looking for. I wouldn't even dare enter the realm of multiplayer in this game. I'm sure I would not make it but 3 steps, unless I could hide in a hole somewhere and not be found.
I was getting my rear end handed to me in the last match I played last night by people that were using sniper rifles in like disgustingly close quarters, and they were taking aim at me, and by the time I'd realized I saw the glint from the sniper rifle scope, I was dead, like with a headshot. And I was like, now these guys are either cheating with some kind of input cheat, or they're just freaking really good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine. So yeah, that's my streaming report. That's all I got, really. I like the game. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I really enjoy. I played Black Ops 2 till like my eyes bled, kind of thing. And this is on par with how great that is. The maps are good. Like I said, the movement is fantastic. There's a couple of settings I want to go in and change because there's a setting that you can have where it'll auto sprint depending on how much you tilt your analog stick.
Okay.
Rather than clicking it in, and I'm struggling with that. With doing that, and I believe my RB button on my Elite Series 2 controller is either dead or not working correctly. But luckily, I have it programmed to the paddle at the back because there was a couple of times like I was hitting it to throw a lethal and it wasn't working.
Gotcha.
So,
well, that's a bummer.
It is, but I think it just needs a spray and a clean out. So.
My digital assistant wanted to speak to me, I guess. It's a little creepy because I wasn't sure what happened. Anyways.
Didn't say her name.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's that. So you think if you spray it out, it'll start working again?
Yeah, I've got some isotropic alcohol somewhere.
That's
a spray. Well, I have a switch, so of course you have that in a spray function somewhere because it's the other way to get rid of stick drift.
That's true. Amen. Yeah, so that is what we've been playing, and let us know what you guys think of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. If you're playing it, do you like it? How's the streaming working for you? Yada yada. Leave us a thing in the comments or whatever. If that, you got anything else on that, Sean, before we go to Game Pass headlines?
No, I think the only thing I'm going to play this week is probably more Mario Party and Call of Duty. So, I couldn't have two different ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
Family fun, friendly game to play, and Mario Party.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, Palate cleansers. Works out well. All right. Games that are out this week for Game Pass are as follows. Ashen, Cloud, Console, and PC. You can get it on Ultimate. You can get it on PC Game Pass, and you can get it on Standard. Returning to the Game Pass library, Ashen is an open-world co-op action RPG about a wanderer in search of a place to call home. As you adventure through the realm of Ashen, you'll occasionally encounter other players. Is there an earthquake over there, Sean? Are you okay? You gonna make it?
No, that was just Rex.
That was Rex. Okay. All right. For those who are listening, the whole camera was I don't know. It looked like it was at least a 3 on the Richter scale there for a second.
He was laying just under the table next to me and jumped up at something, banged his head on the table, and then lay back down. So.
Okay, sorry. Encounter other players in a passive, cooperative, multiplayer open world. It's up to you to decide how to deal with them. Fight together against evil, invite them into your party, or just simply ignore them. Just do that. That's Ashen. Dead Island 2 comes out on PC October 31st. You can play this on Ultimate or PC Game Pass. Available on cloud and console already, and now coming to PC Game Pass. A deadly virus is spreading across Los Angeles, turning its inhabitants into zombies. Bitten, infected, but more than just immune. Uncover the truth behind the outbreak and discover who or what you are. Survive, evolve, and save the world. That is Dead Island 2.
I like that they've got that save the world in the end there because, it's just interesting. Previous ones you've kind of escaped areas and stuff like that, but to save the world.
Save the world. That's what you're doing in Dead Island 2. Sure, what's happening next week?
So next week, November 5th, for both of these, we're getting StarCraft Remastered coming to the PC via Game Pass Ultimate PC Game Pass. So prepare to rediscover a classic. StarCraft Remastered upgrades Blizzard Entertainment's original sci-fi real-time strategy game, and its acclaimed expansion StarCraft Brood War from beginning to end. Experience the intergalactic battle between the Terrain, Protoss, and Zerg with improved graphics and audio, and the same classic gameplay that made StarCraft a global phenomenon. And then, because you haven't already got one huge StarCraft game to play with additional content, StarCraft 2 Campaign Collection is also coming to the PC via Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass on November 5th. With millions of players already in the fight, StarCraft crew has made amazing gaming history. Now it's your turn to take command and lead vast armies of terrain, Protoss and Zerg to victory against the stars. Prepare for interstellar war, Commander. You're needed at the front. The StarCraft 2 campaign collection includes Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, A Legacy of Void, and Nova Covert Ops. So 2 massive games with huge amounts of additional squeaks.
The squeaks
additional
are free.
Content. Yeah, free squeaks. With additional content coming, who could ask for more? If you're a big fan of the StarCraft games and you play this on PC, you play your Xbox Game Pass games via PC, you are in for a treat. If you do not want to play Call of Duty, this could be the thing for you.
There you go. Downloadable squeaks. It's always helpful. I felt like it was like a 2000s, like one of those CDs, one of those infomercial CDs from the. But wait, there's more. If you like the first one, oh boy, StarCraft 2 is free with the purchase.
I should have done that. Really, I wish we'd discussed how we were going to do that beforehand, because that would have been a really good way of doing it.
That's how that always was back in the day, kids. Yeah. Let me tell you how it was. What's leaving, Sean?
Leaving still hasn't changed. I'm assuming it's going to change on Thursday, as all these games will have gone by then. But October 31st, Frog Detective, the entire mystery, Headbangers, which is the cool rhythm game with pigeons, Inculunati, which Nick and George's card game, based game, Lonely Mountain Downhills, which is something I absolutely loved, Polygon 3D style, crazy mountain biking downhill racing game, and then Miniko's might.
How dare you slaughter my favorite game?
I know. Sorry, Miniko's Night Market is also leaving, which we both played. Nick really enjoyed. It's got the cozy, crafty kind of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp style-esque stuff, as well as selling items and business. Very nice game to sit and play. The issue you're going to have with Miniko's Night Market, and it now being the 30th of October, is you're not going to have a right lot of time to play that. Go and buy it.
But wait, if you do want to play it, you could still buy it for 20% off right now, or beat it by Halloween, by the end of Halloween. That's a scary thought, but maybe you could do it. There you go. That's all I got.
I like it. 90s infomercials.
On there.
If only there was a band out there that made jingles for that. Yeah. Oh, there is.
If only I was born 25, or if only I would have been this age now 25 years ago. Think of the money I could have made. All $3. There you go. That is all the games that are coming and going and all that fun stuff. Unfortunately, Sean, this is the end. This is where we say goodbye.
Bye. I'm kidding.
No, I do. I want to thank we did a little bit of this last podcast, but I do want to thank Social Team. They were always amazing. The graphics team, all like the logo behind me and up there in front of me, and all around me. That's all thanks to an awesome graphics team. Thanks to Chief Man himself, Mr. Garrett Atkins, for giving us the opportunity. And just everybody who helped make this all possible, and make us sound good and look good. And when I listen, people, when I go off air, you should see what I look like. It's totally different.
These cameras are awesome. They give me baldness and grayness, and basically make me look more alive. No, I too want to thank everybody. It's been good. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. I went off behind the scenes before we started making the show in terms of meeting with Garrett and his team in the social thing. Mr. Sean Labrie, we've got Levi as well. Lots of DMs back and forth, lots of meetings, lots of discussions around things like the logos, the color palette, everything. There was a lot of stuff that went in. It's not as quick and easy as people can sometimes think to start something like this up, and it took a lot of groundwork to get it here. We feel like we've played an integral part in terms of being a voice behind everything. We've been a pair of faces for nearly a year now that you guys have been looking at and listening to about the show.
God bless you.
Yeah, look at you. But no, I've enjoyed this. We've learned a lot. We're hoping to take a lot of the stuff that we've learned from this and take it with us on our next venture into Dad Crossing, which I would like to take a little bit of time to talk about if we can before we leave, if that's all right. Unless you've got anything very quick to press on too.
Do your thing.
No. So, Dad Crossing in its infancy, when we first started this, it was a show about Animal Crossing. It was based loosely on, it was heavily based on Animal Crossing.
It was completely based on Animal Crossing, Sean. I don't know what you're talking about. It was completely.
It was at the start.
Yes.
So when Animal Crossing came out, and obviously we were projected very quickly into a pandemic at that point as well. Uh-huh. It was a very good outlet. It was a very good outlet to talk about Animal Crossing and stuff like that. But it also meant that, like me, you, and Dan at the time when Dan was with us, it gave us an opportunity to get together and chat and talk. And we used to talk about other things. Dan had kids, you have kids, I have kids. So we used to talk about all those kind of things. And as Nintendo started to kind of slow down the process of Animal Crossing getting support, which it did after a 2-year period, we started looking at different topics we could talk about. And we started going in and leaning into parenting kind of stuff, the dad side of life, because we were called Dad Crossing, so the dad jokes. Like we were talking about different traditions around food and holidays, like with Halloween and Thanksgiving. But we also hit on some topics like mental health, for dads, where to find help if you're in crisis and things like that. And that's what we want to do with Dad Crossing. Dad Crossing is going to be a safe place for people that need to come and have an outlet and a chat, but we're also going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to talk about all kinds of different stuff. We're still ironing out the way it's going to work in the background, but once we know, and we know for sure, we will get things out there, schedule will be out there. Yeah.
If you guys are like, I don't know, these guys are just okay. I'm not really sure. If you want a fun, like you listen to the first Dad Crossing episode, man, Sean, wow. We've come a long way from that. I just started it up and I was like, I can't get through this. I can't even finish this dang episode. This is too hard.
I used to do it in the kitchen. I used to do it in my kitchen where it echoed, and then like eventually moved into doing it into the living room where it didn't echo as much. And I bought a better mic and stuff like that. And it took.
I mean, those are big things, but I don't think the mics would have even saved us, my man. It was a pretty rough start. but yeah. So hey, if you're interested in podcasting, let me tell you, you just do it, and if you do it long enough, and you take advice from the people who know, you too can do this. Let me tell you, because wow, that was a rough start. So, anyways, that's
you sounded like Lightning McQueen then. With a little bit of help from a little bit of Rusty's.
That's right, yeah.
You can be just like me.
I was like, oh boy, this is a rough start. How did anybody even listen to it back then? Anyways, so yeah, I am excited to help dads. That's basically the legit. That's the bottom line. We just want to help dads, and we know that the Game Pass Tracker team will have you covered here. So we're excited to see what happens next for them. And wish them the best. And I don't know. With that, you ready to? Or you got more? I'm sorry. Do you have more?
All I was going to say is if you want an idea of what it might sound like for the time that we do Dad Crossing episodes, is listen to the first 10 minutes of the show and listen to this bit, and that's pretty much all we'll do. It is literally going to be me and Nick sitting here having a good laugh, talking about absolutely all sorts and everything, with some good, like, down-to-earth topics as well. So, yeah, that's all I want to say. But, yes, thank you. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Thank you very much, everybody, for giving us this opportunity. We are sorry we're leaving, but we are out of here. So